You love home updates and do-it-yourself projects, or you want to try tackling one for the very first time? Updating your cabinets could certainly be a good place to start. So on this Try It with Tess Day, I love that, we're going to find out how to rehab those cabinets. Hi, Tess.
Hi, Scotty. You may have done some things on your own too, but no one knows how to refurbish or refinish a cabinet better than this lady right here. Rachel is known as the Restyle Junkie, and this is her business, redoing cabinets, saving people tons of money, and showing them how to do it, right?
Yes, and adding value at the same time. So our company will do it for you. We're licensed contractors, but I love to teach DIY as well.
And we'll tell you about the class that she's going to have here at the end of the month in just a moment. But this segment, we're going to talk about prepping. Prepping is so important, and it's sadly a step that a lot of people end up skipping.
Yes,
or
you
chipping
cannot
on.
cut corners. Otherwise, you're just not going to get the results that you want. Everything you think bad will happen if you skip this step.
All right, first thing, before we assume we've taken each cabinet off.
Yes, so before you go get all excited and go take all your cabinet doors off, you're going to want to label, because you don't want to play the guessing game later. Where does this cabinet go? So for example, I'm going to go inside this hinge hole, right number 3, and orient that cabinet goes up.
Okay, so label everything with a number and which way it's going
absolutely.
up or down. Okay, so once we've labeled everything, we've then taken them all off.
Exactly.
And then what's next?
So we want to clean. So clean, sand, clean is the proper way to prep them. So we just mixed 50% denatured alcohol over here with just regular water, and we made a mixture of that, and we scrubbed it with scrubbing pads.
Okay, and that's what we were doing earlier when we showed you that. Just to save us some time here on the air. So after we clean it, you've gotten all the gunk out, any food, any residue, and you're just wiping it all
peanut butter,
out.
jelly, whatever's on there, right?
Everything, your dirty little fingers from the kids is on there, right? Okay.
So then the next step, so we wipe that off, and you always want to sand with the grain. You can use an electric sander. Just be gentle with it. It knows what to do. It doesn't need you to push it. And I always say that you should be bored before your arm is tired.
Oh, okay.
Because you're not going to put that much into it.
So you don't want to push hard.
You don't really need to.
We're just going up and down?
Yeah, we're just going to go up and down. We're going to get into the little grooves, especially where our hands may have been with lotions and whatnot, you know, just to see if we missed anything, because it will show up white if we missed any dirt here.
Okay.
And then we'll know that we need to go back and clean it again.
Okay.
So you do your best to stay with the grain. You're going to do the front and the back. And you're going to notice a little bit of powder. That's kind of like the varnish top coat coming off. So the way to get rid of that.
And that's what you want.
That's what you want. You want little micro scratches in there. Nothing that's so visible to the eye, but under a microscope, it would be really...
Okay.
And then we're going to take
we're going to do that cleaning thing again.
Well, we can use the scrubbing pad, or we can use a little rag. It's up to you.
It's already wet. So
it's up to you.
Okay.
And then you're just going to wipe it down and let it dry nicely. This is also a great time if you're filling holes. I love to use automotive Bondo as my favorite secret for filling holes. You can caulk the corners.
On any nicks or anything like that.
Yeah, so that's the time you're going to want to do this.
Okay.
And the next step is to prime it. So if we were, this is my favorite primer. I like the white shellac.
What is the purpose of primer?
So primer has 2 purposes. One, to keep all the stuff you couldn't get out inside your cabinet so you never see it again, and to give good adhesion to your finish that you're about to put on.
We're looking at some before and after. How long should the prep work be? How long should you expect this to take?
Oh gosh, I would say...
Obviously depending on the size
Depending
of your
on the size, and you know, the first 3 you got to get your learning curve out on, but I would say maybe 10 minutes per cabinet. Not too long. You just really want to take your time cleaning it, sanding it, cleaning it, and then of course then we start a different time frame with priming it.
Okay, so obviously this is going to cause a mess in your kitchen cabinet, your kitchen itself. Are you taking everything out of the cabinets? Can you leave things in?
So I say if you want to leave it in, you don't mind if it's dusty, that's fine, but it's really a great time to get organized. Take everything out and put it back so you have a fresh kitchen and a fresh start.
All right, and you said, of course, prepping in terms of covering things like your counters is also important.
Yeah, so most of the products we're using are water-based, so you should be okay, but you're always going to want to tape off your floors and your walls.
Okay, so we've done the prep work. When we come back for our second segment here at 9:45 with Rachel, the Restyle Junkie, we're gonna actually go over how to paint something, what you'll need, and we're also gonna finish this cabinet. Navy is the new hot color, which Passmore, I know you did some of your kitchen in navy this year, so we are gonna be here when we come back at 9:45. Finish off restyling your own cabinets without having to shell out tons of money, guys. Love this idea. Yeah. Do it yourself.
Olivia was taking a lot of notes.
I am. Well, you know how good I am at DIY.
Make sure you video
I was
yourself
just
doing
thinking
that.
maybe Scott could do it for me. He seems to
I
be
don't know.
familiar
That's
with
I
this
know the
concept.
sanding part's a lot of work.
Yeah.
But the end result.
workout.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a
The
good
end result, though, is fabulous.
Totally.
I mean, take something old and make it look new.
Thanks, guys.
All right, so it's 9:45. If you've ever wanted to tackle a home project and you're too nervous, Restyle Junkie is making it look a lot easy. We're putting. What is it? Restyle?
Rest delay.
It's on two lines.
Let's go to Target and get some supplies.
delay.
Hey, Target is a real thing. I pronounce
Let's
it
get
different.
back to the football.
Here's Tess.
Where's
Days, Yetta. All right, guys. Good morning, Arizona. It is a Try It with Tess, and we're talking about turning your cabinets from drab to fab here with the Restyle Junkie, Miss Rachel. Earlier at 8 o'clock hour, we showed you how to prep everything because that's really important when you are refinishing your cabinets.
Extremely important. Do not skip on prep.
Okay, and if you missed that segment, we'll post it online. But we have prepped everything, and now we're talking about how to paint a cabinet. We're using this navy because navy is really trending right now.
Absolutely.
And we're gonna pour that in. But talk about the steps of painting. What are the must-haves to get us ready here?
So what we already did is we cleaned, sanded, and cleaned. And if this wasn't a TV segment, we would have primed already. So we're
Okay.
gonna pretend there's primer on there. Then you went ahead and cut in. Cutting in means putting paint where it's hard to reach. And I like to teach DIYers how to use a roller. It's faster, but I know that you wanted to test out a brush and a roller and see
which one was easier.
Yeah, so my best tip for the roller would be to keep a real light on both of them, a real light touch on them.
And how much paint am I putting on this?
You gotta get comfortable with the paint. Just go for it.
All right, just go for it. Just go up and down.
Right, you just don't want to overwork it. That's the biggest thing. So now move on to the next spot.
I'm doing too much?
No, because you did it great. You might need a little bit more paint on your brush.
Okay.
Because good paint will level itself out. So you're doing a great job.
All right, so let me try it with a roller. And
Okay.
what kind? This is just a regular little
So,
roller?
well, it's a Purdy roller that I like to get from Sherwin-Williams. It's 3/8 inch nap, microfiber. Now,
that's
see,
way easier.
Okay, but see, you're pushing it.
Oh, don't push.
Remember, it's a roller, not a slider.
Okay,
so light touch
Okay.
and let it roll. And there you go. So let's see you do on the sides. Real light touch,
I
and
see the
it'll roll
difference.
nicely.
I was totally pushing that first time.
Right? It's something, I don't know why when we want to paint, we tend to push. You don't need to. Really light touch.
All right, this is obviously our first layer of paint. What's the drying time in between? And you want to wait in between, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. With cabinet refinishing, you don't want to rush it. So dry time can be, depending on the paint, is like 2 to 4 hours. And you really want to make sure it's dry. If you think it's damp, don't move on to the next step.
Okay, well, by the time you're doing so many pieces,
Right, when you're going down
gonna
the
dry-
line,
it's
and if
gonna
you're
be
doing
drying
like 30
anyways.
cabinets in a row, it's gonna dry. By the time you go text someone back and have a snack, you're gonna be ready to add the next layer to it.
Okay, so obviously with this first layer, I'm looking at all the lines.
No,
and
just
that's
now you're gonna
normal?
put down your roller. It's
Okay.
perfect. You don't want to overwork it. Let it dry, let it do its thing, let it even out, and your next coat is really gonna be a great finishing coat for it.
All right, and then we're gonna wrap things up. She already started painting this one, it's wet still, but finishing it with a coat if it's not already a paint that has it,
Right,
right?
some paints are self-sealing, some are not. So when I use the General Finishes milk paint, and also when we use paint from the big box paint stores here, we like to seal it with the high performance satin. It's a clear coat.
Okay.
Dries really hard, scrubbable, and I like the high density foam roller to apply it with.
Okay. So many steps that we've covered here, I know, and you're saying, oh, hold on, I want to start from the beginning. There's actually a class that you're doing at the end of the month.
Yes, I do a hands-on DIY cabinet painting class, just 12 students, all adults, all people asking great questions. I supply you with a cabinet, a goodie bag of all the supplies you'll need, and we clean and paint together, and I answer questions.
All right. Love all these ideas because we know everybody's maybe looking for a new look for your kitchen cabinets, bathroom cabinets. It's a lot of work, but you can do it too with a Restyle Junkie. So that's the Try It With Tess on this, what day is it? Monday. Talk to you guys.
Sounds good, Tess. Thank